Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shedding crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this, I'm still blue. Still blue.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome for another edition of the Chelsea News Roundup Show. I do hope you're all doing well. As usual, things are a bit slow in terms of how Chelsea are moving in the market currently, but we do have a few items lined up. But here's the thing, do not be concerned. You know why? Because we keep it interactive here. So chances are we talk a lot about the level we have lined up. So do not go anywhere. And as the show progresses, if anything emerges, be rest assured this will be one of the first places you'll hear about it. And I think around this time every day, the transfer guru himself, Fabrizio Romano, he releases the update, you could say roundup, news roundup video. But despite the way, we will talk about Armando Broja. We'll talk about Xavi Simons, Alejandro, Garnacho, Christopher Nkunku, Renato Veiga, Nicolas Jackson, and all the stuff lined up out there. But more importantly, as usual, I do hope you're all doing well. And let's keep the tradition going. The first thing we usually do after giving you a highlight of the items we have lined up would be to say hello to those of you in the chat because we appreciate you all. And the first person, my sister from another mother, my Canadian sister here, Miss Melina, thank you for joining. I haven't taken out your command yet. I'm not sure what's wrong with Night, but that's by the way, that song. I'm glad you appreciate it. We had a deal, so I'll find a way to send it to you. Up the Charles, Angel Panesia Atta, nice to see you. Or Atta maybe, but nice to see you. And yes, let's smash the like button to find out who's going to be the one to take us to the top. We need to get at least, let's say, 70 likes a day. We've been, again, averaging 40, 39, maybe because, yeah, I've said this before, we stream in a vertical format, so people are not quite used to it. They don't know how to find the bells and whistles, which includes the like, comment, and share options. But that's, by the way, I am happy to say that I have the captain of the community in Constantine Duntud, still in Dubai, actually. So I'm jealous, kinda. I know I will go for a mini vacation on my own, not necessarily a planned vacation, but yeah, work takes me to to another state. It's not going to be happening all the time. It's an emergency. But yeah. But that's by the way, I have Constantine Dante in the house. Dante, I do hope you're doing well. And how is the vacation going?
Yeah,
Oh,
big up.
I think I need a lot more to catch up. Give me a few seconds here.
Yeah, you go.
Yep. We have Takile Shalom Kosa Broya to Burnley. Here we go. Good news. Good news. We'll talk about it. Wendy CFC. Thank you so much for reposting this. Sincerely do appreciate you. I cannot thank you enough. He says, big up, coach. Big up to you too. I do hope you are doing well. All right, Dante, big up to you. Still having fun. Don't tan too much. You don't want to skim bun.
I'm good, coach. I'm good with the sun. I don't get too burned too much down under. I've already got that little bit of devil in me, so I don't get too burnt. So I'm good.
Yeah, okay, yeah, now I understand. You're already in the H negative place and it burns a lot there. So sun
Yeah,
is nothing, you know.
sun is nothing for me. No,
More like
no.
the moon, actually. Godwin Amagatse says, good evening to you too, Mr. Godwin. Live from Ghana. Please update on Chelsea. Stay tuned. You're not going to miss anything. And if we miss any, we have agents everywhere that will tell us something new just popped up. You need to talk about it. So stay tuned. And please make sure you've dropped a like on the video. Let's try and get it to 70 likes today by the time the show ends. I don't know how we can get 8,000 views and not have up to 50 likes. But as I said, I totally understand the format is the biggest problem. But before the season starts, when we do the lineup prediction exercise with streaming landscape format, and as the season starts, we'll be mixing things up quite a lot. IB is in the house. Pick up my fellow Club World Cup winner. What? Don't stop saying it. Winners, plural. Then don't stop saying it. Keep celebrating. Don't let anybody play it down. That was a huge, huge, huge thing. But that's by the way. Thank you so much for joining, Dante. Not a lot to talk about, but as usual, because we keep it interactive here, you could say we can. Chances are we talk a lot about the small stuff we have lined up. So the first item here, quoting Fabrice Hawkins, Amanda Brewer is already at Burnley. The first part of his medical is completed. It will be a long-term contract. No mention of how much we got for him. Probably not going to be a lot because he's not been in the greatest of forms. What happened? I remember an ESPN pundit, one of the Robbies, saying that he's going to be better than Nicolas Jackson. I laughed. I knew he had potential. You could say, but there was no time. I didn't at any time believe that he will have become better than Nicolas Jackson. Maybe, but you could say that comment was specific to that particular season by Robbie, one of the Robbies, I think, the white Robbie, not the black Robbie. Um, but yeah, Dante, for you, what happened?
Yeah, big up to everyone in the chat as
Big up
well.
to you too.
Yeah, look, I, you know my view on him. If you remember, I always said this player, his mechanics, the way he plays, the way he runs, his weight, he's always going to be injured. Do you remember me saying that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that looks like it's happened. So he's always been injured. He always gets an injury. Until he sorts that out, it's going to be, look, we're not going to lose money on him because obviously, he's been around for a long time and we're going to make money on him. So that's not a problem. But personally, for the player, yeah, I think he really needs to sort that out because otherwise he will keep picking up injuries and it'll just be an injury riddled career for him. So he's got some good talent. He still plays for Albania. I think he's still in the national team.
Yeah,
He's still
yeah, I've seen him on about three occasions play for them, or two at least.
yeah.
He still plays for them. They value him.
They don't have too many options, so he's still there. So, uh, yeah, look, he's got some a good side, but then he's got that bad side. Like I said, he's always going to be injured if he doesn't sort out the mechanics. Like I said, his running style, the way he plays, he plays like he's a winger in a striker's body, but with all that weight and he just plays very wrong, and you're always going to get injured doing that, and that's been the case. So look, I was never the biggest fan of his. I always wanted him to go or don't bother with him. Basically, just sell him, and we could have sold him for quite a at the start. I remember, I think West Ham offered 30 million pounds for him or something like that, 40 million,
We
but we turned it
refused.
down.
And that reflects the fact that, yeah, we wanted to keep him. We wanted him to do well at Chelsea.
Yeah, we wanted to keep him. It was early on, obviously. We just, it was quite early on. So yeah, um, yeah. I look probably looking in hindsight, that would have been probably the better decision, to be honest. But hey, it doesn't matter. We're still going to sell him now. We'll still probably get. I know it's not going to be much, but I still think it could be probably 15 to 20 million. He's still a striker. It's still a position that pays higher. That there's not that many around. So I still think we'll get around close to the 15 to 20 in my personal opinion. We should be able to still get that because he's not on a high salary. He's one of the lower earners. I think he's on 40, if I remember right, £40,000 per week, unless that's changed recently. But he's not earning that much. So look, Burnley, it's a good move for him. He is Albanian, but he's born in London, so he's counts as homegrown as well. So he's basically an English. He's pretty much English as they come. He's born in London, so that's why he wants to
Mm-hmm.
stay. I saw a lot of fans saying, "Why doesn't he go overseas?" Well, that's probably why he wants to stay. In England because he's born there. If you hear him speak, like yeah, he's definitely 100% British. So yeah, look,
Could
it's a good
have
move
played
for
for
him.
England if he wanted, right?
He could have. He didn't choose that. Probably was the right decision because he wouldn't be anywhere near around the England squad. So the Albanians, gave him basically he was starting. I remember he was starting in all the Euro qualifiers. He was their starting striker. So yeah, I think that was the right move, definitely. But look, yeah, a bit wasted, unfortunately. But this will happen. Some players make it, some don't. Time to move on, and good luck to him.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck to him indeed. I hope he, find his feet again. The talent is there. And we did our best. Nobody can look back and say the club didn't give him a chance. We did give him a chance. Had him sign a new long-term contract, increase his salary, had offers, good offers on the table, and we refused to sell him. That's reflects the fact that yeah, we had faith in him to make it at the club, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. Jimmy, James, TV, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Looking forward to our collab, which I believe will happen very soon. But thank you for joining the conversation. And we have Best James who says, congrats to all Chelsea fans. Any update on that transfer news? Stay tuned. We just discussed the first item. Armando Broja is on the verge of completing a move to Bournemouth. He's completed the first part of his medicals. And yeah, it will be a long-term contract, so which means he's living on a permanent. You can say, I think it'd be right to also say congratulations to him because he has a home now. He's not going to be you can say he's gone past that period where he'd be thinking about how to make it at Chelsea, or whether contemplating whether to stay at Chelsea or maybe move on to go find his feet. So unfortunately, it is what it is. The second item here, a lot of people, probably some have given up. Some I've seen people on X say, yeah, probably we're not going to get the deal across the line. As I've always said, the signs are good. And something happened today, or you could say earlier on today, that indicates that, yeah, he really wants to come to us. And I think that will go a long way. So now this reads, Xavi Simons today removed RB Leipzig from his Instagram bio, and someone said it's not a transfer message. Fabrizio quoting, that is Vince here quoting Fabrizio, but Fabrizio is trying to explain that definitely it's a transfer message. And I don't know how stupid one can be to say that isn't a transfer message. Um, and Fabrizio, on again in the second paragraph, reads, "It's a transfer message." Let me remix that a bit. It's definitely a transfer message. Simmons wants to go and doesn't extend the contract. He doesn't want to stay at Leipzig. That's according to Fabrizio Romano, and did say specifically he wants to go to Chelsea and Chelsea alone. That part isn't part of this particular report, so I think we'll get the deal across the line. Um, but it's complicated given what Dante did mention yesterday, that PSG there has a sell-on clause, which makes it difficult for Leipzig, who paid 60 plus for them. The fact that they paid 60 plus for Siemens gives you an idea that, yeah, we're definitely paying something more than 60 million euros. IB here says, vacation life must be good. This is the most I've heard Dante speak. An internet connection, excellent. Yeah, I like that one. At home, he has a Walmart level internet connection.
Yes, my McDonald's.
Dubai,
Yes,
Dubai.
McDonald's internet at home is not as good. This is 5-star internet here, so yeah.
Exactly, 5-star internet that he had to actually dine. He was invited to an event by Damac, the sponsor we had for the rest of the season. Yeah, so no wonder the internet connection is excellent. I actually told him yesterday that he had full bars. To
Yep.
my utmost surprise, really. Um, but that's by the way. Let's see. Simmons is coming. I think he's coming, and that's Mutesa TV. Mutesa, nice to see you. What do you do? Do you talk football? We like promoting other channels that talk football. Because yeah, we want to grow together. Simmons is coming. He's definitely coming. Let me see if there's any other relevant report aligned here, so we can just read through them and start analyzing them. So this one here says Xavi Simons and his camp continue to push for a move. The situation remains the same. Chelsea are the most concrete suitor. Leipzig are still demanding a 70 all in, or again, 70 all in, including others. Not a bad deal. And that's euros. And if they pay 60 million euros for him,
50, coach. 50.
if they paid 50, yeah, not bad really. If the 70 includes add-ons and everything. But go ahead. You can talk about the situation, him deleting Leipzig from his Instagram profile, and you can say the 3 tabs we've read with regards to his the possibility of him joining Chelsea.
Yep. Just big up to Jimmy Jam as well. Good to see him in the chat. Welcome. And IB, make sure you buy your mistress flowers and chocolates. Don't forget to do that as well, please.
Why are you doing that? You're definitely going to that negative area. But
I'm
go
already
ahead with what you were
sun-drenched,
saying.
coach. I'm very sun-drenched already. I'm pretty hot, so it's all good. No problem. Look, it was 50 million with 30 million add-ons. So it was 50 plus 30. But they didn't win anything because those were Champions Leagues, etc., for them to win, or the Bundesliga. So none of those add-ons were, from what I've seen and know, they weren't activated. So basically, it's 50 million 2 years ago. So he's got 2 years left on his contract. It was a 4-year contract, so he's got 2 years left. So basically, they're in a bit of a situation where they kind of have to sell him now, or you're getting into that danger zone next year. So yeah, look.
Yeah, next year becomes danger zone, and a player that is, you could say, strong-willed as Siemens, chances are you let them know. Look, if we doesn't happen now, I will leave as a free agent and join them.
Yes, yes. Very strong-willed, like you said, and yeah, look, we saw that today. What Fabrizio said. I watched the video before I came on. Yeah, Fabrizio's opinion is that he that was deliberate. The way he was talking about it sounds like he knows a bit of inside information from someone from his camp, or who knows. Fabrizio's got all these connections. He talks to everyone basically. So it sounded like it was on purpose. It was just a sign, just to say, yes, I'm serious. Definitely want to go, and Chelsea's the place I want to go. So yeah, look, it's a great sign for us. I mean, I kind of knew it all along anyway, that he wants to come to us, and we're going to work on the deal. Like I said, it's complicated because of the PSG add-ons, etc. They want to get as much money as they can. They didn't really want to lose him, but they have no choice now. The players made it clear.
I watched a video, if you don't mind, where he wanted to go back to PSG. There was an agreement in place that he'd go back, I think, after his initial loan at
Mhm.
Leipzig, right? But from his camp,
Yes.
something that he had a conversation with Enrique and wasn't convinced there was a place for him.
Correct. They had a buyback option, I think, as well. That expired, but he could have gone back. Yes, he definitely could have gone back if he wanted to, but it just didn't work out for reasons unknown. We don't know why they didn't agree for it, because he's a very talented player and young player as well, and they were kind of going for those profiles. But I think they had other players in mind, probably. So it's fine. Look, it's worked out better for us this way, because if he went, he probably would have, hit the ground running with that PSG team, the way they're playing, and those other young players they brought in as well. So yeah, uh, I'm now. I said the other day it's probably going to most likely get done. I think that's just gone up another little notch. I'll do a bit of a Fabrizio, like you said, 75%. I think it's gone up now even higher than that. I think, to be honest, it's pretty much 95%. We're going to get this player. I don't believe, like, the reports out there saying that we need to sell players to get him. I don't think that's the case. We have no PSI issues. We have no issues. Broja, as we spoke about before, he's gone. He's going to be gone. Another one off the books, and we still have probably 5 or 6 players to go to get off the books, and we will get them off the books because we're slowly working on it. So I think we have no problem of bringing him. We don't have to sell to bring him in. I don't believe that to be true. To
Yeah,
be
I wanted
honest,
to ask you that question because that seems to be a concern for a lot of Chelsea fans. That that we definitely need to move on players to bring him in. I actually didn't believe it when I saw it because yeah, he'd be. You could argue one of the most important signings for us this season if we're able to get the deal across the line. Him plus Yoro Hato. I don't know why people are concerned about that. I so let me hear you speak in detail about the people's concern that yeah, we definitely have to move people on, and it actually does sound as if Nkunku stays, that will probably forfeit our pursuit of Xavi Simons.
I don't think that's true. Obviously, there's a certain number of players you can register in squads, obviously for Champions League, Premier League, etc. Uh, but finance wise, PSR wise, it's not a problem. I think, and there's players. If say we don't sell some of those players, we know we're talking about maybe Chilwell, maybe Sterling, they will go on loan anyway. So they will go out and they will not be registered for those competitions anyway. So there will be room there, no problem. If we can't sell
Either they
some,
go out on loan or they sell them on
yeah,
permanent, they're
well,
not
like
going
we
to
did
stay.
last year, basically same thing, coach. We couldn't sell them, we couldn't find suitors. Right at the end, we loaned out Chilwell, we loaned out Raheem Sterling as well in the end. So they will go out on loan. They're not staying with the squad, so they will not be registered as Premier League players or Champions League squad. So there will be room for Xavi Simons, no problems. And like I said, the finance is not a problem. PSR is not a problem. Signing, having, if you have too many good players, you can't sign them because you can, only sign those 24, 25 man squads. Yeah, no, that is not a problem either. So I don't think that's the case at all. I think if we want him, and that's why we're talking to him now, because we're trying to get him in before the preseason starts, basically in 4 days' time. So we want to get him in ASAP, and I think the deal hopefully will get concluded. Hopefully by then, in the next 4 days. Hopefully that's done.
Something else I want us to talk about, but I'm going to ask you that question now. Go back to give the microphone back to those in the chat and come back to you to respond. I've seen, I think, 2, 3 people. One, more importantly, Kalito. I think that's the same being Kalito, being funny and crazy, saying that basically what he said suggests that he sees Xavi Simons as inferior to Nkunku in terms of overall ball playing ability. I've tried to explain to people that this guy is much better than Nkunku. Maybe Nkunku, maybe a better finisher, but this guy has a lot more to his game.
This is
Um,
the same Carlito that says Enzo Fernandez is useless.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So you can say he's provocative, but let me give the microphone back to those in the chat. I'll come back to the panel. So you responded to, you can say, just how he compares to Nkunku. IB here. I don't have to read this one, but I'm going to read it anyway because he's having a go at you. Dante, I didn't see your application for the H place, but your membership has been accepted. That
I'm a
is.
VIP. I'm a VIP IB.
And Jimmy is saying that I thought they only signed him in January 2025 for the prior 18 months. It was only a loan deal, wasn't it? That's correct. But yeah, he's been there for more than one season, hasn't he? Even though they just
Two
signed
seasons,
him.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he was cautious. I think he was cautious. I'm not sure the structure of the contract he signed with them. Maybe the prior 18 months counts, which is leading to him having just 2 years left, or maybe he was being cautious, or maybe Leipzig was being cautious, knowing that probably he's not there to stay for long.
Of course, and
Um,
that's why it was only a 4-year deal, basically, coach. They knew it was only a little stepping stone for him, basically, because he was always wanting to go to a big club. He's got the talent, so he was always going to leave. So yeah, they were definitely very cautious. Yeah,
So they knew that eventually there he'll probably leave them sooner than later. That was what I heard concerning Simmons, that we need to sell more players before bringing them in. I did saw that. Odeku Olushola, Ekugbadu Ekaro, whichever one you like, take it. It's free. Amoteng Richard, hi to you too, Amoteng. I do hope you're doing well. The Bluesy says. Odeku says, hi to you too, my brother. Great work, bro. I appreciate that. I mean, that gets into my head, and I like praise, being praised, right? Okay, I like your show. I'm a thank Richmond. Thank you, my West African brother. I appreciate that. So Dante, let's hear you talk about that. People's concerned that we definitely need to move on players before we bring him in.
yeah. Well, I've talked about that before. That's exactly what I said. I don't think it's an issue, in my personal opinion, at all, because it's doesn't we're not registering those players, and there's no rule exactly how many you can have exactly on the there's a certain number you can have on the books, obviously, but you can have up to 52 54 players. That's not a problem. So yeah, look, I think we're in for him to get this deal done before before the preseason starts, so he can come from day one, just like with Hato as well. Obviously that's done, medical done today, so
Oh,
that should be
he's done with the medicals.
yeah, the medical's been done already, apparently. So that's what Fabrizio said. So it's basically they're just going to announce him probably tomorrow or the next day. They'll do an announcement for him, so like a video and etc. So yeah, I think they're really trying to get the deal done. I mean, it only makes sense and it's logical to do that. You want to bring him, Hato, you want to bring these players in that first day because it is a shortened preseason. Let's not forget, we had the Club World Cup, so the preseason's shorter. They had holidays, which are shorter, only 3 weeks, and they're basically back. Like I said, on the 4th, in a few days' time, they're back. So uh, you want to, if you have such a short preseason of 3 weeks, you want that player there day one, basically, because otherwise he comes in late. It's much harder to adapt, get to know everyone, the team, the system, the training. It's going to take a lot longer. That way he comes from day one, and I believe that's what they're trying to do. uh, it's taken longer, like I said, because of those little issues, but I think it will still get done. Hopefully in the next couple of days it'll be done, and then he'll be there in a few days time for preseason.
Yeah, I think he tried to be as professional as can be, but we were seeing subtle, you can say subtle posts on
Yes.
Instagram
Yeah.
suggesting that he is not quite happy. Using emojis to say a lot, and you can say all those things, showing the tattoo on his
Yes.
and all that. But that's by the
Small
way.
farmer
I mean,
celebration. Yeah, there's a
yeah,
few things
exactly.
he's put
So,
up.
but I think he's lost it now. He's had
Look,
it. which is
Well,
why he had to remove them,
just like
remove
our
Leipzig from
Bobby
his.
Bobby just
Go
joined, just
ahead.
like Bobby, he's not very patient, obviously, either. So he knows preseason's around the corner, and he wants to get the move done as well. Obviously, the player wants the same thing as well. He wants it wrapped up. Doesn't want it going on and on and on. So he wants it to get wrapped up as soon as possible as well. Obviously, from the player side. So I think they're working with that, and I think I'm pretty confident that they'll get it done. Hopefully, cross fingers. There's no other implications, but pretty clear now. And like I said, Fabrizio was pretty hard on that in that video. If you've seen it, he's pretty certain about it, and it's pretty hard the way he talks about it. It's basically he knows. He's like, no, 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 no. It's 100%. This was on purpose. He knows it's on purpose. He's
Yeah,
not
people were
assuming.
arguing. Yeah, exactly.
He's not assuming. He's not just saying that. He knows the way he was talking. He's
I mean, it's
certain.
common sense. You
Yeah,
could
no,
get
but I think
into
he's heard it
trouble
from the
for
camp.
removing the club from your profile,
Yeah, I
right?
think he's heard it from probably their camp or these agents or whatever, because he talks with those ones. He's got a very good connection, obviously. So I think he knows personally that that's exactly why it was done. So yeah,
Right, but what was I gonna say before I go to Bobby? But I'm a thank Richmond. Thank you so much for saying that. I sincerely do appreciate you. That goes a long way. I keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. We still have 52 people following the show on YouTube, and we have just 21 likes. If half of you take a second to drop a like on the stream, we'll have at least 25 likes. In total, we'll have 160, 58 on YouTube. The rest is shared between X and Facebook. Where equally Coachella doesn't know. What was it that I was gonna ask you? Ah, dang it! How did I lose it? Oh my goodness! But anyway, I'm gonna go to Bobby. We have our senior panelist on here. He should be sleeping, but he loves the club, loves the platform. Yep, it's ours. It's not anybody's platform. That's how we used to say it's our platform. But he's here with us, Bobby. I'm sure you've been following the news. I don't think you should be concerned. And okay, quickly, the question is this: before I go back to Bobby, Dante, are you one of those that? Because yeah, he's indicated he wants to come to us and us alone. He rejected, what club did he reject? I can't quite, Bayern and Arsenal, and he says he wants to come to Chelsea. Are you one of those that feel like we should pay up because he wants to join us? And I've argued that's when you don't pay up. That's when
well,
you say,
yeah,
look, yeah, he wants to come to us, but we want to still be nice and pay you this amount. But let's hear you before we go to Bobby.
perfect example of that was Hato, wasn't it? So it was exactly the same thing. So we got our price in the end, and they didn't get their price that they wanted. They valued him, at 50. We got a, much less than that. So we valued him at around, the 40 million euros. So yeah, we've got him for 37 million pounds. So yeah, look, we're in a strong position in this one, very strong position. But I do understand Leipzig, of course. They want to recoup some costs. They don't want to, they want to make a little bit of a profit. I think if PSG wasn't there, that sell-on clause, the deal would have probably been done already.
Yeah, by now. But the
Yeah,
selling
yeah,
clause is where you could argue it makes sense to believe that, that complicates the situation because they would, you said the whole thing, that they have to factor in how much PSG will take.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
look, they already would know that anyway, how much, etc. So they're just trying to, in their books, try to balance that out properly so they can get a little profit at least and not lose the player for pretty much nothing. So yeah, look, like I said, I think it'll be done, no problem, in my opinion. We're in a
Yeah,
very
I
strong
hope
position.
the sooner the better. But I'm not one of those that I feel like we should just get it
And
done
he's
and
worth
end
the
up
70.
overpaying. Go ahead,
He's worth the 70, in my personal opinion.
he's worth it. Yeah.
I would pay the 70 for him. If they wanted 70, I would pay it because I think he's that highly rated and he's
But
that
I'm quite sure. I
good
don't
player.
think we'll be dragging it without letting him know. Look, we want to sign you, but we don't just want to overpay. And I think he'd understand if we can be upfront with him. I think it only makes sense that we tell him we don't just want them to,
Of
you can
course.
say, drain our account because we want to sign you. We still get it over the line. Relax. I think he
And
knows all those
yeah,
things, right?
and we have a reputation to uphold now. They've set a precedence for that recently. They're not going to be played around and just pay anything. They've set a precedence. They want to keep to it, and they want to keep clubs
Which
honest
is
when
a
they
good
come.
thing.
Yeah,
Which is a good thing. But the concerning thing and the irony of the whole thing, the same set of our fans that you see complain that every time we go to buy a player, the selling club ups the price. And
yeah.
we're doing what we have to do for that to stop happening. They still want us to just go and drop the bag.
Yeah, so it worked for Giddens, it worked for Hato. I think it'll work for Simmons as well.
Yeah. All right. Bobby, thank you for finding the time to be part of the conversation. Sincerely do appreciate you. We love you, even though we like to wind you up so you can, even though, we like to debate with you. Bobby, by the way, I'm
Yeah.
quite sure you've been following the news. Are you hopeful now, or are you still concerned? Because yesterday you sound like you were, as if you were concerned that we will not be able to get the deal across the line. But I'm quite sure you've seen everything. You want me to read them out for you? He removed RB Leipzig from his Instagram profile, which is huge. And here, let me just read them out for you one by one. Just
No,
three
I've
items.
seen it all
Okay.
actually.
Okay, and
Um,
his camp also, his camp entourage, they're working to make sure the deal gets done so he joins Chelsea. But your thoughts? What do you make of it? Are you hopeful now, or are you still concerned?
yeah, big up, guys.
Yeah, Bobby.
If I last 20 minutes this evening, I would have done well because I can't stay too long. But look, no two situations in anything in life are the same.
Hmm.
And I think it's not realistic to expect them to be. That's just one thing. The positive for this deal is that Baghdad Bali is talking to their top guy. So the negotiations is at a very, very senior level. And usually when it gets to that point, there's a understanding because these people do business together. They need to build a sort of relationship in terms of their dealings. So that is the good thing. However, there's still a threat, and the threat is the Sesco deal. Now, even Fabrizio said that it's important for this deal to happen before the Sesco deal. And in fact, if I may quote Fabrizio, he said, "Look, or is it? I've forgotten who said
Today
this
or the
now.
news yesterday?
Today,
Okay.
um, I don't know. I've heard so many things. Maybe I'm getting people mixed up. But the issue here is there is a suggestion, and I'm not saying it's possible, but there is a suggestion that if the Sesco deal is done first, they would, because they don't want to lose them both, they could negotiate a new contract with Xavi
Siemens?
Simons, yeah, and
Okay.
pay him more money. So all sorts of threats can come in. The longer a deal is left in the balance, it's only logical that the more opportunity something has to interfere with the deal. That's just reality. Now, is it likely the deal will go through? At the moment, it is likely, but there is a threat. The longer it lingers, the more the more the possibility something could go wrong. And also another thing is this idea of having to sell players. Um, People like uh, Sterling, Chilwell, who, by the way, only has a year left on his contract, so
Who?
he's
Chilwell?
probably Ben Chilwell, yeah. So he's probably going to be happy to sit there and earn that money before the cash cow dries up. But the idea that we need to shift players is a little bit disturbing. We need to shift players anyway. But if we're needing to shift players for this deal, it's a little bit disturbing. However, despite the threats, if it didn't look like it could happen, or if it wasn't promising, Egbali wouldn't waste his time. I think the issue is that they're discussing here is structuring the deal. I think they will get there.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, they will get their 65 or 70 million. I think they will. But it's how to structure it such that one, Chelsea kind of save face a bit, and two, the whole PSR situation is dealt with. The elongation of that deal will is probably partly what the delay is. Of course, it will be helped. The more players that are sold, the more the deal is helped along. But it seems selling these players seems to be taking time. Um, so yeah, am I concerned? I don't think I've ever been concerned, but I'm just looking at the realities. People are talking about this deal with dead certainty. And I'm saying, no, you can't speak about, one thing
Which is
about
the truth. Which
transfers.
is the truth until he signs.
Exactly. Till you
Anything can
see
still
him
happen. Yeah.
holding that shirt up, anything can happen in the transfer market. So this certainty with which people are talking, putting up team sheets with Simmons in it, and it's just not realistic. Even the Hato deal, I have to say, until yes, I would say it looks like it's 99% done, but that 1% is still a risk. So until you see him holding up the shirt and doing the dummy signing,
Hmm.
you can't take that as anything. That's the transfer market. We've seen players do medicals and go and sign for somebody else, as our dear William did for us. He did a medical, passed his medical with Spurs, and we
Mhm.
came along and he said, bye, Felicia, using coach's terms, and he came to us. We saw what happened with the Samin, what's that guy? Samira? Sam,
Samu,
Samanus. What's his name?
Who?
Samu, is that you talking about Samu?
Samu, the guy from
Porto.
Atlet. Yeah, yeah. He's gone to Porto, but he was
Yeah, he's gone to
at
Porto.
that.
Yeah, Samu Omoradian. Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
Samu
him.
Samu Omorodion,
Yeah,
the Nigerian
I
Spanish
mean,
kid.
there was all the here we goes from Fabrizio. He was even, people were posting pictures of him in a Chelsea shirt,
He
and
was in
look what
London
happened
too.
there.
He
Exactly.
was in London. He was on the verge of you could say commencing the medical tests process before. I think it was image rights
E-
was what we heard
e-
was the issue. Uh, was the problem? So
exactly.
yeah, yeah.
So. So that's my point. The longer this becomes a nearly story, the more probable the threat. So we need to wrap this up and just completely obliterate the
But let me
threat.
get this point from you, Bobby. We shouldn't, because of the risk of losing him, overpay, which creates more problem for us.
I don't think the issue of overpaying is on the table now. I
It
really
is
don't.
because it would mean we're not going to try to you say negotiate a lower fee. We just give them what they're asking because we don't want the risk of him deciding to go to Bayern or maybe join Arsenal. You get the point now. So I mean,
I
you
get
can
the
say a
point,
bit
but
of balance is needed here.
I think you're right. But I think they've passed that. I really don't think the fee is the issue. I think the issue is the complexity of. I can imagine a Bali's giving a handshake with their top guy. I don't know who he is, saying, "Look, this deal will, let's agree on the deal, but let's just hold back a bit so we can sell some players and make sure that that we're sweet in terms of like our PSR situation and so on. That's the backdoor agreement that could be happening. You see, what gives me some hope is that Mr. Bali is not going to be sat there with the Leipzig head guy if the deal could be scuppered. That's
Exactly.
the only
Yep.
thing. I can't imagine him doing that. You know, that level of negotiation is so far advanced and is so high level that they don't do things for doing sake. They don't do business like that. So that's the only thing I'm holding on to. But if it's like, to say, oh, we're negotiating the price, where I don't think that's that. I think we've passed that completely. Price negotiation is not what's holding up this deal right now.
Yeah.
I
All
think
right.
there are other more candid things, such as an agreement has been
Image
reached.
rights, salon fees.
No,
Yeah.
I think an agreement has been reached, but the agreement is such that, okay, let's just hold fast. Let's get rid of so and so. We've got so and so on the pipeline to go. Let's sign off that deal, and then
Mhm.
we sign this one off. I think it is that level at this point.
All right.
Could be. Yep.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bobby. And the truth remains, yeah, until that player signs on the dotted lines, it's not. You can say nothing is guaranteed. But thank you so much for saying that. No to Garnacho, according to Cole Palmer. The show is loud and clear, according to Amot and Richmond. Thank you, I appreciate you saying that. Dante, you pay 70 million for Siemens, but not for Wi-Fi. Oh, love.
It's not my money. I'm not paying for
Just
him.
keep writing them. I'm going to be reading them as long as it's aimed at Dante. If it is me, I'll pretend I don't see it. What's the news on Jackson? We'll get to that in a bit. Chimera, leave me. You know I don't like you, so don't ask me questions. And Benoy is back again. Gladeshi Wagwan. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining the show once again. He is a Barcelona fan. I am back. Nice to see you. I did see you, and thank you for being part of the conversation yesterday. It was enjoyable to see you. Not necessarily a fight, more like a civilized banter. Chimera says, "Bring Garnacho." I'm not convinced, and Gittins not enough sample size. This guy, I see what he does. I think he just likes to fight, right?
Pretty much.
Benoy is saying Gittins is class. I love Gittins. I think Chimera knows what he's doing. My bro just wanted to say hi. I can't complain. I hope you're doing well too. Thank you for joining. Paul Edwards says that Chelsea have brought all the cups and leagues that they have won in and not. A big team is Tottenham and Arsenal. Bigger. Okay, we don't buy cups. Okay, thank you for saying that.
Yeah, you don't
And
buy or win
at
cup.
least I've read majority of what you wrote there. Thank you for joining the conversation. And keep coping. Coping. I think that's a good way to cope with the fact that, yeah, Arsenal have never won the Champions League. Tottenham, the same thing. And you could say a bit of jealous, reflective of the fact that you don't like that we're the most successful club in England in the 21st century, so to speak. I don't think you like that. So, but yeah, enjoy. Let's see what else we have here. Okay. All right. See you
And
next time, bro. Hopefully the
they don't
collaboration
buy
happens soon. Go ahead, Bobby.
they they don't buy cups, says the
Hmm.
fan of a club that's buying all the players they can think of to try
Yeah.
and get cups. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
exactly. And here's the most again, the funny thing is that when they try to do the math on how much Chelsea have spent on players, they don't factor in how much we've made from selling players. They just want to go with how much we spent buying players. They don't calculate the other aspect of the whole thing, because they know we've sold a lot of players and we've made a lot of money from selling players. Actually, we're the top selling club in terms of how much we've made from player sales. But that's by the way. And we have staff in the house. Staff here says Anselmino, Hato, George Achampong, Guy, Slonina, Isugo, Lavia, Santos can all be registered in the under 21 B list as we're born after January 2004. Lavia qualifies being born 5 days after January 1st. Thank you so much for that information. I appreciate you
that's
saying
very
that.
good information.
Yeah,
That's good
you
to know
know,
that.
Stav is good with that sort of thing, right? That's his thing. Um,
And
all
that's why
right,
I said,
Dante. Anything
coach,
else
it's
you
not a
want us to
problem.
talk about? Go
Yeah,
ahead, Dante.
that's exactly why I said it's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. We have a lot of young players as well. under that 21 bracket, so it's not a problem.
So how do we take advantage of that? Let's just not stick with the fact that Stav mentioned this, mentioned how they qualified to be counted as under 21s. How do we take advantage of that? Of what importance is it that they qualify as under 21s?
Well, we just we
Oh,
can register more players.
okay.
So
Or it just means
basically,
we can register more players.
pretty much we can
Yeah.
register more players. They go under that B list, which is different from the A list. So yeah, they're counted as young, really young players. It's a little bit different, that list. So you can register those under 21, as much as you want, no problem. So it just gives us a lot more freedom to put more players in the squads for Champions League, Premier League, etc., like that. So it's very important, actually. It will help us spread it all out, for all the competitions. It will. I think it's going to make us, like I said, even signing Garnacho and all those type of players. We're going to compete for that. Even the Carabao Cup, we're going to compete for that. We want to win that. We want to win the FA Cup, obviously the league, Champions League. But those smaller cups, we want to win them. So we want as many, players, you know, to play, to be registered, etc. So we can win that. And having those under 21s as well, that's just a big bonus because they don't count towards that as much. So yeah, I think bigger squad, more players to register. It gives us a lot more options, and I think Maresca will be very happy with that.
Bobby, you wanted to say something too. Sorry about that. I cut you off.
No, gosh, it's been a while back. I can't even remember. No, I don't want to say anything right now. No.
I like Bobby on these late streams, these late night streams. He's so nice and calm and relaxed. I like him like this.
Doesn't fight a lot, right?
Doesn't fight, doesn't put up a fight. He's nice and chill and relaxed. Yeah, it's good.
Always agrees. But it was if it was during the day, it'd be war.
Yeah, because I'm nearly sleeping here. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Stav, for that information. When is Estavo getting unveiled? I'm not sure when. Maybe there'll be a live unveiling because our first game is a home game, right?
Yes, Crystal
So
Palace. Yes.
okay, whether they do video version of that before that, because on the day I think we'd introduce again the whole new signings. You could say the new squad to the team. They usually do that.
They're having a trophy, like a presentation party on the 2 days before that game. Did you see that, Coach? The dates?
No, I didn't. I
Yeah,
haven't
the
seen that.
the trophy presentation party of all the teams, including the women's team,
Yeah,
is
correct. Yeah,
on the 6th of August.
correct. So 4 days on the
Um,
4th, they come back to camp. 2 days later on
mm.
the 6th is that, and then on the 8th we got the friendlies. On the 10th, the other friendly, and yeah, so that's how it's going.
If
But
you're
they're doing a
trying to
trophy
get tickets
presentation.
for that, but I don't know what's happening with the tickets for that. It's proving difficult. Um,
Sold out very
then
quickly. Yeah.
I don't know what the format is, but it's not like in the days when we would have the open top bus and move around the whole Fulham and West London area. I think this is more contained,
Yeah, yeah.
obviously, perhaps for safety reasons.
I
It's a
think it's just
different
a
world
Stamford Bridge,
now.
Bobby. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'm pretty sure that on the
Able to go to
opening
that one.
day, on the opening day of the season, either then or one of these um, friendlies, they will come out with certainly the Club World Cup and the Conference League trophy.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
When are we playing AC Milan? The friendly.
That's on the Sunday. I'm going to that one, and I'm going as a spectator. I'm not working. I'm actually
Ooh,
going as a spectator and
some
doing
fun.
some. Yeah, I'm going to that one. Leverkusen. I I don't know. I don't think I have something doing that. That's on the Friday. Yeah,
That's the first one. So on the 8th is
yeah.
Leverkusen, on the 10th is Milan. Yeah. So
It's
yep.
in the evening. So You see,
Right.
why I like the Stamford Bridge friendlies just before the season starts, because that's the time you can really run the rule over new signings. You get to get a feel for what the players are really all about. Obviously, they're not they're not really match fit and things like that, but you see a display of a certain level of skill set. That's why the thing that KDH did towards the end of the season, compared to how I saw him at the beginning of the season against Inter Milan, is quite remarkable, because it wasn't that player that he is now. And that's time, training, integration. Maybe I think he was actually, to be fair to him, he hadn't fully recovered from an injury. There's all sorts of things that affect a player's form. Um,
Yes, yeah.
and I've learned, I've taken on board from that, really. I've said, okay, there's a reason Chelsea brought you there in the first place. Um, Not everybody's Sao Niguez. You see, a lot of what people like Sao Niguez and Aubameyang and the likes of those have done to us is they've traumatized us, such that we don't trust players easily. Somebody traps the ball wrongly, miscues a pass, and we think he's a washed up player because we've had so many players disappoint us. I'm trying to get out of that now, and that's because of KDH.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, we
KDH.
have good therapy sessions on here that will help.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. No, but you get my
Yeah, I'm
drift.
with you.
I
I'm with you. Yeah.
I think a lot of some of the Chelsea fans' reactions to many things is trauma.
Yeah.
It's past trauma, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The you could say the difficulty in trusting that such signings is driven by past experiences, so nobody's to blame. Yeah.
Not just signings,
Mhm.
managers. I think Maresca got a lot of the stick Maresca got was because of other managers like Potter. I think Graham Potter, whether rightly or wrongly, he left a lot of Chelsea fans pretty traumatized and not trusting any manager that just walks in through the door.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the truth. And Stav is saying we can register up to 25 over 21s. Wow. We're gonna milk the heck out of that.
Yep.
All right, AB says this is more of a question from AB, and I'm going to start with you, Dante. Let's try answering that question. It reads: if we sign Garnacho and Xavi Simons, does that mean Xavi has been recruited to play the 10 game controller, number 10 controller, i.e., example, he will share this role with Enzo, releasing a Parma to focus on scoring and the killing of games? Okay. Thank goodness I have Dante and Bobby on here. I would have pretended I don't see I cannot see your question. But Dante, jokes aside, I know you understand
Yeah.
what he's asked there. Your thoughts.
Yeah, look, he can play left winger, but when you're playing against low blocks, a left winger is not really a left winger. He's more of an inside forward. It comes in, tucks into basically a 10 next to Palmer, and Cucurella overlaps the defensive duty. Yeah, he goes back out wide and does the left wing defensive duties. But yeah, against low blocks, like I said, they're inside forward. So I see Xavi Simons doing that a lot. It's going to help us break down teams a lot better because, like I said, I keep going on about this. He plays with his head up. He's a creator, especially first. Got a strong shot on him. He's got a strong
He
core.
has excellent vision.
He has excellent vision. He can see every single run because his head is always up and he's always scanning the field, and that is the hardest thing to do, in my personal opinion, to be that technical with the ball at your feet. You're not even looking down. Your head is always up, scanning the field. So you're doing multiple things at once. So that requires very high IQ and very high technicality, and that's exactly what he has. So Yes, he will play a lot in the left wing position. Gittins will play a lot more, I think, when we're playing teams that are more mid to high blocks, where you can run in behind, basically one on one. You're going to see Gittins and Garnacho if he comes in. Not sure if he comes in yet, but if he does, you're going to
Well,
see.
it's looking like it's going to happen.
We keep saying that, but I mean, there's nothing really concrete. We haven't started any talks with Manchester United or anything, coach. So there's nothing happening. So people just saying he's coming 100%, but there's no club to club communications. There's nothing like that happening. So uh, I think it's up in the air basically. People are saying, oh, it's 100%, it's going to happen. Well, how? It's not really 100%. It's For me, it's like a 50-50. To be honest, if we can get him on a bargain, we'll probably get him. If we don't, well, we don't need to get him. So uh, a lot of other dominoes need to fall for that to happen as well. So I'm not too worried about that. But if it does come, like I said, those two players will be used in that accordance, and then Xavi will be used when we play against low blocks, or of course Palmer gets injured, suspended, or whatever. He can play that 10, that straight out 10 role
I
where
mean,
Palmer.
which means that something. Let me tap in there a bit. It'd be correct to say he reduces the creative burden on Palmer, even though both can start. But in the absence of Palmer, it would still be good.
And he gives Palmer the opportunity to do those 1-2s, those triangles, make run in behind, which we did not see him do enough because we had no players. Madueke sort. They're not those type of players that are going to set you back up. You give it to them, but it's not coming back. Most of the time, it's not coming back. So, Xavi Simons, he will have a. I think they're going to create a very good close relationship because they're both, like I said, very technical players. The way they play, it's gonna let Palmer off the leash a lot more, and vice versa, maybe Javi as well. But I think more Palmer, he'll be able to make more runs, get more forward, and actually score more goals. I think, in my opinion, because of Xavi Simons being there, because they're so high IQ, smart players. They're gonna feed off each other, and I think Maresca's seen that, and he's really wanting that, in my opinion. So am I, to be honest. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. And again, as the show progresses, if you have any questions, don't wait until we're done. We exhaust all the items we have lined up here. You can always drop the questions. If it's a good question, we can look at it. Yeah, okay, that's part of the above question. I don't know if Bobby wanted to add to that. But Bobby, have any response to that question? Or are you good?
What's the question?
Just a question about how we're going to use him as a 10 or a winger,
Xavi.
something. Yeah, Xavi.
No,
Yeah,
that one thing is for certain. These people that are looking for fixed answers, for fixed positions, you're never
There's
going
not.
to see that at Chelsea, not this season. These
I think I
Yes,
players are
agree.
going to
Hmm.
be interchanging, they're going to be playing every which way they can, because the objective for Chelsea is to be highly, highly unpredictable. And I think that's healthy. I think that's the way forward. So if you're expecting them to turn around and tell you Xavi Simons is going to be the number 10 and he's going to be sat there in that position pinging balls around so the opposition can now know how to mark him out, I think you're widely, widely mistaken, because that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I do agree with you. And I think if you've been paying attention, we've always been looking for versatile players, players who are capable of playing across all three positions in the front area,
Exactly.
which makes sense. And that's how I like football, actually. I prefer a fluid approach. I don't prefer, I call it static approach, where you can say there has to be a traditional number nine staying central and also waiting for the crosses to get at the end of the crosses, put the
No,
ball at the back of the net. I think
that's not
modern
how
foot,
Chelsea's going to play
yeah,
at all.
exactly. No, it's not going to be like that. Yeah,
and it gives you options against certain teams and
yeah,
against certain
and it
matchups, and
makes it
that's
difficult. It makes it difficult to defend if
exactly. We
you
saw that
get
in the
it
Club
right.
World Cup. Exactly. Yes, Maresca used a couple of different players. He even moved Palmer to the right in those couple of games
Yes.
at the end.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, that's what he wants. He wants players like that that can play on the left, can play in the 10, can play on the right. Versatile players that if he
I think
moves the
Palmer was moved to
decent
the right
around,
and to the left at some point.
Yeah,
Mhm.
if he moves the piece, it's like a chessboard. If it moves the pieces
I want to
around.
see him one more time on the left. Actually, it was fun that day. He was putting in a lot of crosses into the box.
Mm.
Go
Yeah,
ahead,
yeah.
that
Look, I think that was on purpose. Yes, yes, that was
for the
definitely on purpose.
crosses we saw, the volume of crosses we saw from him on the
And
day. Is that what you're
That was
saying?
clear instruction. Yes.
and we're talking a lot about Xavi Simons, and perhaps rightly so, but we've forgotten that as young as he is, we're all waxing lyrical about Gerald Hato, but this guy and Hato is only a year's difference. Esteval's going to be very creative. That's a
He will be
craftsman
too.
right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Of
But
On the
course.
here's,
left,
I
on the
think,
right, and
yeah. Go
down
ahead,
the
Bobby.
middle. I mean, on the left, on the right, and down the middle. So we have a few
We're
craftsmen
loaded.
in the team now, which is a very, very good and healthy thing. It gives
It
me
is.
optimism.
It is. I mean, if we can get the Siemens deal across the line, oh my goodness! Even Garnacho, yeah, he adds to the squad, irrespective of how you see him. And I think people have been judging him unfairly. You don't know him personally, and you're overlooking the fact that it's been chaotic at Manchester United for 3 seasons right now. And his case is not in isolation. There's Anthony's, there's Jadon Sancho, there's a few others that Kalito mentioned the other day when he was in the live chat session. But that's, by the way, thank you so much. Let's see what happens. What do,
What I like about Garnacho is he looks like a prize fighter. He looks like he was a boxer or something.
yeah, he has
And
grit, but Bobby, in
He's
all
and
rough.
honesty,
Yeah, he's rough.
yeah.
I
Mhm.
I like those sort of aggressive, hard nailed.
Maybe that's the draw.
Mm,
Maybe his grit, his look, everything, the seriousness is the draw. Maybe.
yeah.
It's part of
Well,
it. It's definitely part of it because you need players like that in the Premier League, in my opinion. Yeah.
you do. He's not there to be um pushed around, and I always appreciate that. I never, I'm very old school. I don't like to see my players get pushed around. I go back to the old Chelsea players that if you kick them once, they'll kick you twice. We've had a lot of players like that, and I don't want us to ever lose that thing. The northern teams used to call us southern softies until they came to Stamford Bridge. They found out that the southerners weren't exactly that soft after all. That's what I want. Hard men. I want tough guys in the
Don't
team.
talk like that to Coach Bobby,
Yeah.
please.
Just yeah. Go ahead. Sorry. What did you
You're
say?
laughing. You're laughing. Well, it's true.
This is serious. Do you guys know how much we got for Broya?
Oh, has he gone?
Yeah. Do you know how much we got for him?
How much is
How
it, Coach?
much?
25 million pounds. How
Perfect.
is that freaking possible?
It's very possible. Breuer is a very good player.
How
I
many
don't
Has
know
a
goals
about that
lot
last
of
one.
season?
potential.
37 goals last season, Bobby. We just
Has a
had
lot of.
the reason I'm asking how is that even possible is that our
Where's he gone
owners,
to?
wow, their business
Where's he
savvy.
gone to? Where's he gone to?
Bournemouth,
Where-
Burnley.
Burnley, so to speak.
Burnley. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. So where did you see that? That's breaking news.
It's
That's
been
got
for
I'm
a
to be
couple
looking.
of
I
break.
was
hours.
asking. I think
Yeah.
it was the first person that it was. Kalito sent me an inbox, probably because he was following the show and heard when I asked the question, "How much should we sell him for?" There was no mention of the price. He sent me,
Yeah.
and now I'm seeing Fabrizio himself said we sold him for around 25 million pounds. Even if it is 20, that's a lot of money. I thought that it was going to be that's the business where we get around 11 and be happy because he hardly ever played. He was out injured for like the entirety of the season and only
4 years,
played for a
Coach.
few games.
Hasn't played in 4 years, basically. Hardly anything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm screaming like, how are we able to get that much money, Bobby? You get my point. I'm not saying in today's market, if he play, if he hadn't been out injured, if we get 40, I'd say yeah, that's today's market, inflation and everything. But this guy, how many games did he play really, and how many goals did he score?
I think
Nothing, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, he has been, a walking sick note, that's for sure. I think the whoever, whichever snake oil salesman managed to get him sold must have sold him on his potential.
Yeah,
Armando Broja,
and
when
probably
fit,
with the threat that we can actually keep him. He's still on a 1,000-year contract, and we know what he can become in the future.
exactly, when fit, he's one of the fastest players in the Premier League. He's lightning quick.
That
He's
is a problem,
he's
Bobby.
physical. He's got an eye for goal. He really has, it put in the right hands and with the right fitness level, Amanda Broja could be an absolute monster. And that's what they've probably sold him on. And he's young. It's not like you're talking about some old player that, you can never see any hope to fix him. There's plenty of time to fix him. It's just that Chelsea just isn't that club. So I think they must have sold him on his potential, and they did well to do that. 25 million for him. Wow. You have to commend
Directors.
yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
I remember. I remember watching him play. I think under Poch. Was it under Poch or no Potter? Poch. I think at the start he
Would
got
have
a
been
run of games,
Poch. Yeah.
2 or 3 games. Uh,
Before he
he
got
was
injured.
tripping over the ball every time he was running forward. I remember he was really bad, and then obviously
And
didn't
he
play anymore.
got one good goal under Potter, and we were all happy. Yeah, maybe we get to see him even more. He continues developing. My goodness, but go ahead, Dante. I apologize.
Yeah, that we got that one goal against Potter when Potter, and then when he came for Poch, played 2 or 3 games in a row. He gave him a bit of a run. It was a couple of cup games, I think, and then a Premier League game. And yeah, he was just tripping all over the ball. He came off in all of those games very early and just looked completely out of sorts. And we didn't see him back again. After that, he went on loan, got injured again, came back, got injured again, injured, and basically here we are now. So yeah, they did amazingly well to get basically a player that's played 5% in 4 years. Yes, they've done amazingly well to get 25 million, and it's pure profit on the books. Don't forget.
Mm.
Wow, that's
Well,
that's
that should make
interesting.
you feel that the Xavi Simons deal has just gotten that little bit closer.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. More money, and probably the more reason for RB Leipzig not to budge, knowing that yeah, we got more money. That's probably the reason why they were reluctant to make public how much we got for him. I think
Mm.
somehow people realized how much we were asking, and knowing our current owners that yeah, we were never gonna reduce it, except if But yeah, Bobby, I think that can work both for it can both the
Yep.
buyers and sellers favor too, because I know if I know you
Mm.
have the money, I'm not gonna budge, and I know you want the player. But we have the cards. You could argue the fact that the player wants to join us, the fact he's lost it. It's gotten to a measure where he had to take off RB Leipzig from his Instagram profile. So we're good. We're good in my opinion. Go ahead. Anybody want to say anything else? So I can read this particular comment and we continue addressing the items we have lined up. Once we exhaust that, we go news hunting. But we're getting there.
All good. We can move
All right.
on.
All
Good luck
right.
to both.
All right. What? Okay. Okay. Breathe. Kwate Watie Kabihi. If I write my name too, I don't think you can pronounce it. So no worries about it. But I think the first one could be correctly pronounced Kwatie. Kwatie Watie Kabihi. I'm not sure what it means. The striker market has been so inflated. I think Chelsea decided to use it to their advantage. Possibly. No surprises there, but yeah, 25 million pounds, that's a lot of money, really. But we move on from that. What else do we have here? Give me 1 second here. Have we
Let me just
addressed
add to
this?
that, Coach. Sorry.
Sorry?
Yeah. I'm sure you've noticed this deal got basically they've done it in like 2 hours. This deal.
Yeah, it was quick.
That just shows you that these deals, the small ones, the insignificant sort of players deals,
You
no
can
one
argue
cares.
the players on low salary. The players
No
that
one
aren't
cares
earning a
about.
lot, usually easy. easier
Yeah, that no
to.
one cares about. They never get dragged out in the public. Why? Because it doesn't warrant any attention, and it's not gonna, bring anything to the clubs. That's why some of these big deals they also get dragged out a bit. It keeps Chelsea in the headlines always, Leipzig in the headlines, but especially Chelsea. Yes, that's another example. In my personal opinion, it's another example of that as well. Broja done in 2 hours basically. So when have they negotiated and done everything? You can't be that quick. But yeah, that's how it's perceived to be because insignificant, really. Yeah.
Wow. 29 likes, and we still have 64 people following the show. If half of you can take a second and like the video, we'll have at least 30 likes. Yeah, there you go. You just went up to 30. New comment there that I wanted to get. And from Tope or Odunayo. Thank you, Mr. Tope. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well, and thank you for joining us here. Dante, were you saying something?
No, coach. No, I said what I needed to say.
This person that goes by the name Kopama definitely sounds like Nemaya Fawole, but that's
Yes,
okay.
yes. He comes on
Yeah,
Tobago's channels every single time as well.
yeah,
And
he
it
behaves like
says,
Nemaya Fawole, and I see him in all other channels that I used to see Nemaya. He says he doesn't want Garnacho near Chelsea. Unfortunately for you, it looks like it's gonna happen. Thank God, though. Thank God, indeed. Let's see. Good morning, Jay. Thank you, Jay. Thank you for finding the time to be part of the conversation. I do hope you're doing well. But thank you and welcome. He has, okay, this is definitely Namaya.
oh, definitely him. Yes,
Definitely Namaya. You know why I'm laughing, right? I'm not going to say it. But
yes. I know exactly why your
this
dirty
is
mind's
definitely
laughing.
Namaya. He, all right. Behave yourself, coach. He has attitude issue. He has attitude problems. His brother leaks some things in the dressing room. I don't think that happens at Chelsea. And here's the thing. And I think you could argue we want to sign him irrespective of whether of the fact that he adds, you could say, to our squad depth. And he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's the best player in the world. The truth remains you could argue to some measure it is an opportunity. Again, it will be an opportunistic signing. We know that it's a good player in him and he's still very young, that if it doesn't work out, we move him on. That's not the first time. I don't think he can do that at Chelsea. You can say it's been chaotic at Manchester United for how many seasons right now? All right, staff says one of the benefits of long-term contract is they work well for PSR purposes of spreading the cost. But if a selling, it adds to the player's value and clubs asking price if a buyer wants the player. Thank you so much for that, staff. You still sound very sound, even though you should be sleeping. So I want to have what you're having. For me, it's just 6:28 p.m. Samuel Adeni, Kugbadu Ekaro, my brother, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. And Samuel here says, what's going on about Garnacho and Simons transfer to Chelsea? Simons case, it's happening. I think today people are saying it's up to 80% right now. It's a process. But definitely I think it will happen. Just bear in mind, again, it's just my opinion. I'm not saying certainly it's going to happen. Don't go bet your house or your life savings on it, but most likely it will happen. And I think it'd be correct to say 80 to 20% leaning towards Chelsea getting the deal across the line. And Jay says there will be teams which will press us, and we might need to sit back and wait for counters. And in such matches, Garnacho might come clutch. He's a very direct player. Jay, I don't like you, but this is a good comment, really. It is indeed. I really like that one. Yeah.
Well, under Ten Hag,
Sorry about that. Go ahead, Dante.
exactly under Ten Hag, that's when he played at his best. When that was the case, that's how they played Manchester United.
Yeah, that's some board knowledge there from Jay. It makes sense.
Although Giddens would be that number one choice, though Garnacho would be that second choice.
You don't see a situation where we'd have both on the pitch at the same time.
Not necessarily, no, because we've got plenty of other players on the right. We've got Esteval, Neto, so probably not. But you never know. Yeah, like we said earlier, Bobby said, expect the unexpected, especially with Maresca. He might put him on the right, might put him on the left. Yeah, it could be anywhere. But yes, against games like that, definitely that's his strength. That is Gideon's strength as well.
The club repeating. Sorry, sorry.
Yeah, that's their strength. As Jay says, that's his number one strength, and yeah, that'll come in handy definitely. But Giddens will be that number one choice, also because obviously the talent, but I think the fee as well. There's always that that hierarchy in the dressing room, fee, as well, age, fee. It always, people think it's not real, but it is a little bit real. It always is.
Hmm. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate you. It was never going to be Garnacho or Malik Fafana. I think it was either Gittins or Malik Fafana. And I prefer, both are very intelligent players, but they differ a bit. But I'd rather Gittins, really. What if Maresca do not use Garnacho? I don't want him. If he doesn't use him, then we'll move him on next season. That's why I said to an extent it's going to be an opportunistic signing, not one that we really needed. But I think we need him. If you look at what we have, the profile of the wingers we have, I have a feeling Maresca would treat him Garnacho like Felix. Heston, let me say this: if he behaves like Felix, then he will be treated like Felix, and then he deserve it. And it's really as simple as that, really. Okay, so there you go. So the Ganacha news here is here. Actually, I haven't actually read that come what we have on the screen right now, but he reads Chelsea are keen on Ganacho, and Ganacho is keen on Chelsea, aka a match made in heaven. All right, then you need to reach an agreement. And at the moment, we're not even at the negotiation stage. That's because we haven't even made a bid yet. I think his camp and the player himself, they know that we're interested, and probably we've reached out to them. I think, but we haven't made our intent official to Manchester United. It's looking like this is going to happen, but here's my theory. But Dante, you countered that, saying that's not going to be an issue. I did say because he's just on 50K a week that United might not be in a rush to sell him. But you also mentioned the fact that Eric Ten Hag publicly mentioned that he's told him to start looking for a club is a huge problem. I still think the
Amarim,
fact
yeah.
that he's not earning a lot, they might not be in a hurry to sell him. But this looks like we're seriously interested. And this is no longer rumors.
Well, it is rumors. What else is it, coach?
Okay, I'm just going by. You could say the reputation of the person that this is coming from. This is Vince quoting Fabrizio Romano, but I'm not saying he's perfect. I've experienced him. Got a few you could say transfer stuff wrong, which you could argue not down to him because yeah, the deal eventually fell through, which has led to me asking people, how would you define the term? Here we go. It doesn't necessarily, but I've learned that it doesn't necessarily mean that the deal is done. It means there's an agreement in place, which means you could say in reality, even though there's an agreement in place, as long as the player hasn't put pen to paper, anything can still happen. But go ahead, let me hear your thoughts on again. It's looking like it's going to happen, but I wanted you to go into why you said they're not going to be reluctant to sell him and they're not going to be asking a lot. But I think they'd be asking a lot because he earns 50K a week and they wouldn't mind keeping him for another season and sending him out on loan to a club where he do well. And then they say, you see, he's worth how much we're asking. But let's hear you.
Yes, in theory, yes, but as you know, and the players uh, still have a lot of this power. They have a lot of power players because he just won't want to go anywhere. He'll cause a fuss. I'm not going. I'm not going on like that. He doesn't have to. You have to accept that. He won't accept that. Very simple. He'll push for a move, and it could get a little bit ugly, and that'll look very bad on Manchester United as well. So I don't think they would want that drama. Sometimes situations like that, the club doesn't want that drama, and they will just sell him, for much lower fee just to move it on and just make everyone happy and just move on from it. I don't think they'll keep him. The player's already basically stated publicly he's not staying there. He doesn't want to be there. His manager, Amarim, said the same thing. He doesn't want him there. He's not part of the plans going forward. And yes, he will not be playing again for Manchester United. So because he said that, they're in a bad position. Yes, he made a big mistake saying that, actually, because that's put him in a really bad
Now
position.
he did a Conte there.
Yeah, and don't forget, it's pretty much pure profit for them as well. So really, yeah, maybe they say they want 60, but there's no chance of giving 60. And pretty much from Fabrizio said, Chelsea will not pay. They want to pay 30 for him. If so, for me, that's another opportunistic signing. If he's available for that price, we'll buy him. If he's not, if they won't if they won't come to that price, well, we won't buy him then. Simple as that. He's not a need. He's not so much a need. He's a little bit of a need, probably more of a luxury than a need for depth and for squad rotation, and more for depth. Like I said, winning the Carabao Cup, stuff like that, where he'll play pretty much every game. But he's not a big need. He's not coming in for to be a starting left winger for us. Giddens is ahead of him. And like I said, Xavi Simons will be ahead of him as well if he plays that left wing that tucks into a 10 when we play low block. So he'll be a little bit down the pecking order. So I think it's just an opportunity for us. Yes, like Fabrizio says, we appreciate him. The player appreciates us. The move could happen. He says could happen, but nothing's been talked about. No club-to-club communication. There's nothing at all. It's just basically, for me, it's a bit of a rumor still because that's all it is. Basically, Fabrizio stated it's just appreciation for player, appreciation for that, but that's it. That's where it's at. Well, that just tells me, we will get him if maybe we sell a lot more players and we maybe somehow sell Sterling, Chilwell. Maybe then we've got quite a bit extra to spend that we can get this player. But other than that, I don't think we're going to pay anywhere near what Manchester United are asking for. If we can get him for 30, maybe they'll do it. If we can get him on a loan, maybe we'll do it like Sancho with an obligation maybe to buy 25 mil, 30 mil at the end of the season if we want or not, and then pay a penalty fee. I think this is where this deal's going. I don't see it going any
You
other
think
way.
it's going to be on loan with an obligation that if we're done signing, we'll pay a penalty, just like in the case of
Yes, yes. Why? Because Garnacho would say yes to that. He would wants to come. He would say yes to Chelsea on a loan just to get out of Manchester United. He would say yes to a loan. So, but I don't. He's made it publicly. He doesn't want to leave England. So there's not that many options, to be honest. So he's pretty much said that he wants to come to basically to London, to Chelsea. So look, could be another club coming in for him as well. We don't know. But for me, it's still a bit of a rumor at this stage. And that's basically Fabrizio confirmed that. It's still a rumor, basically. It's just appreciation of each other's parties. For me, there's nothing quite there yet, to be honest. I need to see a little bit more for that to happen. It'll go down to the last, I think, right down to the end of the window, this one.
yeah. All right, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you saying that. What's the latest update? Let me see. What's the latest? What's this Jay saying? On the front of shirt sponsor, pretty sure he penny pinched Dale collapse. He's looking for my trouble there. Yeah, I think we're better positioned to get a much better deal, and you could argue the sort of deal that we'll get would recoup how much you could we missed. Had the fact that we haven't had one in a while, right? Before the Damak deal. Remember, we had opportunities actually. I think Allianz was gonna pay us 5 million a year or so. We said no because we know our worth. And look, we're world champions. We also won the conference league. I think we'll get a lot. We'll get an excellent deal. But Chelsea fans, I don't know why some of us are behaving as if it's the end of the world because we don't have a front of shirt sponsor. And Rodrigo asked one of them, "Does he bring good luck?" Exactly. So I know it's a revenue, but I know what Jason. I know he understands. He's just being a typical Chelsea fan. Maybe Garnacho is a smokescreen. Austin hasn't said anything on Garnacho. Austin doesn't know everything too. You should know. But I get your point. Azo Ali, hi to you too. I do hope you're doing well, and thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. Welcome back, Benoy. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. And Rugged Frankie. So Rugged Frankie here says, "Don't think we really need him. He is just looking for an exit route away from Manchester United. The lad is good, though, but he is not good behaviorally. Just tone down the English in the locker room and has an itchy finger on social media. I think the itchy finger aspect is his brother,
His
not him.
16-year-old brother.
His 16-year-old brother,
Like
not him,
seriously,
younger
people.
brother, to be more specific, actually. And here's the thing: I don't think it's fair to judge him based on his brother's behavior. And chances are he's cautioned him. We don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he's 16, coach. He's a kid. Like, come
yeah.
on.
And he himself, how old is he? 35.
Yes. I don't know why people are so. I just can't comprehend this theory of that his brother caused. The guy's done a few tweets saying that he's not happy. The way they were playing or something. So what? He's a 16-year-old kid. He's free to write anything he wants. Doesn't matter if he's Garnacho's brother. We have so many players, partners, and stuff writing stuff as well. It doesn't matter. But as a kid, the guy's just. I mean, come on. Why do people take that so seriously? I don't understand.
And once again, his case is not in isolation. That's a case of Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford, Anthony, and about
The
three
list goes
more.
on and on and on.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So the issue must be, yeah, the culture there. The fact that it's been chaotic at Manchester United for 3 seasons in a row right now, honestly. But Rugged Frankie, nice to see you. And Azo Ali, I'm good. Okay. I'm so happy Chelsea look ready for the new season. I mean, arguably so. You could argue that's the case. Rugged Frankie says, any news on the Hato and Simmons? Hato is done. Hato is again undergoing the medical tests, probably first part of it today. I'm not sure if it is still on. And the Broja to Bali, you can argue done because yeah, he's completed first part of the medicals. Do you see that? I would not necessarily. I would not do that. Okay, he says he will slap the heck out of his brother if he was acting like a Roberto Garnacho. Is that the brother's name? Roberto, possibly.
Yeah.
But kids will always be kids, really. I'm not I'm not concerned. My goodness, Jay, just go back to sleep and leave me alone. Bobby, I'm sure you've seen. Okay, has Bobby spoken about Garnacho? But probably sleeping. So let's let him sleep anyway. If you
He's
if
still
you
there,
have
I think,
if
Bobby.
you, no,
Bobby
if he
there.
wants to join, he knows he can always interject and come in. He knows that. So let's let him enjoy his sleep if he's dozed off, which is possibly the case. So Sacha Tavolieri, I think this was the same guy that said that John Felix is as useless as it's beautiful.
That's the one, coach.
That's him,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
All right, before I read that, I have something here that says, what happened to Wesley Fofana? I think he probably recovered before the start of the season, but I don't think he plays at the start of the season. No news about him. He's injured forever. I think, yeah, his return date is near, in my opinion. Yeah, it's late for him. All right,
Fofana was
this
training, coach. He's been training like vigorously training the last couple of weeks on his Instagram and stuff. Apparently, so
individual
from what I saw
training,
on it,
right?
so I think he'll be probably ready for preseason. So he was doing like hardcore workout sprints. So I think he'll be ready for the preseason, no problem.
Have baked preseason this time.
Yeah, and I think hopefully he's learned a valuable lesson to trust the manager's judgment and the medical team because we know what happened last season. So yeah, I think he's on his last legs, his last two knees, his last two. I won't say it. I won't say it anymore.
Mm-hmm. All right. This reads, that's a Vince quote. You can say quoting him. Newcastle United have made contacts with Arthur de Ceci recently. The Frenchman is included on the Mac Pieces recruitment list. Good luck to him. I don't care where he goes. I just want him gone because yeah, we'll make money, and I think we're looking to sell him on a permanent. Um, Houston, he made a lot of mistake. I started at Aston Villa. I knew they weren't going to push to keep him.
No, they
To
were never going to keep him.
yeah, they
They
were going
haven't
to give
kept
him.
any of the
Yeah,
loanees
he yeah.
because that was all for Champions League, coach. The loanees, they don't have that luxury anymore. So yeah, they were never going to keep him.
Yeah, plus he wasn't like he was perfect actually.
Look, he
Yeah.
did well for them in the first few games. Then he had one bad game, but like I said, out of the Champions League, no, they can't keep him. So they probably would have signed him, I think, if they did, but
If they
definitely not.
qualified for the Champions League, you think?
Well, the money, coach. That's why they had all those loanees, Rashford, what's his name, Isco, all those players. Disasi. There was a couple more actually, high-profile loanees that they signed. Well, they're all gone because they can't keep them because yeah,
They had one from Real Madrid.
as well. Correct. Yes,
Yeah, so yeah, they can't keep him. Yeah. Did
they
they
really
sign him on
loaded
the
up. They
permanent?
loaded up,
Was it the
but
permanent signing?
no, loans. It was all loans, all of them.
All of them?
Yeah, they're all loans. They had five like players on loan, like higher wages, good players like Rashford, Isco. I forgot the Real Madrid one, the other one. Forgot his name. But anyway, yeah, they really loaded up. They really wanted to qualify for Champions League again, and then they would have more money and able to sign some of those players. But obviously, it didn't happen. So yeah,
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you. This one here, Link Sports, Reese Esther Willen. I cannot wait to see you soon. He's eager to get started. The full interview, he said he cannot wait to put on the Chelsea shirt. And here he also says, I seriously cannot wait to wear the Chelsea shirt. I am so excited. It seems like even the days are slow to pass and the clock stops. Just like when you have your Christmas gift all wrapped up under the Christmas tree. Yeah, it just seems as if a few hours will seem as if it's 1,000 years, but he's excited, and I'm excited too. I can't wait to see you soon, really. I really do love that kid, and I believe he will do well. And it has anything new emerged, and if you have any questions, drop it in the live chat section. We'll try to address it. Otherwise, we haven't seen a lot here, but I will scroll further down to see if anything new emerged. It looks like Vince, because I think he's in Nigeria, so probably must have gone to bed right now. Doesn't have the current update, so I'm going to go search somewhere else. If you have any questions, drop it there. We'll try to address it. What else do we have here? I want to see new players and experiment against the Leverkusen, even if it causes a defeat. I usually don't care much about the outcome of a preseason games. Honestly,
no.
Dante, can you go ahead? Give me 1 second here. Go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, look, especially that first one, I think you'll still probably see some of the players that have been training a little bit earlier that have come earlier back. I think you'll see a lot more of those in that first one. Maybe in the second one, where Bobby's going to the Milan game. So I think you'll probably see more of those players then come on and actually start in that game. But that first Leverkusen game, I think you'll be, especially that first half, yeah, I think you'll be more players that have been, there at Cobham a bit earlier.
When you say that the Club World Cup, you could argue to an extent the preseason for us.
It
Get the
was,
seriousness of the competition, but you could argue to an extent it was preseason for us.
yeah. I was speaking to someone on X about this. They did a really post. I'm pretty sure I forwarded that post. I'm not sure if you saw it. Reposted that one. Is just going through the sports science and stuff. How normally, players have around 6 to 8 weeks. They have around 8 weeks holiday. So we've only given them 3 weeks holiday this time, obviously because we played. So he was just saying, what are the benefits and the negatives of that happening? So basically, the players are going to come back still in very good condition, very top condition, close to match playing condition. Whereas if there were 8 weeks as they normally, then don't come back. It takes them another 4 or 5 weeks to get to that condition. So our players will actually be very well conditioned because 3 weeks is not a long time, to be honest. So the downside of that, of course, is injuries could happen more and more. But with modern sports science, individual diets, they all have personal chefs. They still do some workouts in the off season, even when they're on holiday. They have personal trainers with them. It's the percentage comes down drastically for something like that to happen. So cross fingers that doesn't happen. But yeah, our players should be still very high peak fitness, because they played the Club World Cup at a high level, and of course only 3 weeks break than the traditional 8-week break. So that'll be interesting to see how sharp we are, and especially if that's going to benefit us in the short term or long term. We'll have to wait and see how that works out. But I think it's a good thing, in my personal opinion. You let yourself a little bit go, and you're more luxurious if you got that 8 weeks to go around the world, travel, eat better, more, party a bit more. You just lay back, you're way more relaxed. And yeah, 8 weeks is a long time actually for a pro athlete, because there's a fine line between top pro athlete and the next level down. So in that 8 weeks, they've dropped down drastically actually in performance, and the beep times and everything. But the 3 weeks, there shouldn't be too much of a drop off.
Yeah, okay, another question for you. Good thing that you're still here. So Jay says, are you expecting Jackson to get some minutes? I think in the preseason game, I personally think he might stay, but cannot see him playing anytime soon. I think he'll be playing a lot, except if he doesn't do well in training. Listen, we need the manager. I think we've heard, maybe from briefs, if you want to call it that we need a huge squad. We're looking for 9 attacking players, and I don't think we have 9 yet. I don't think so. But here's the thing: I think he plays because the manager will be rotating a lot. He will. Go ahead, Dante.
Yes, he'll definitely be rotating him. I think if he's staying, which I think he actually will be staying, I think he will play in those, especially that first game, Leverkusen. I think he'll probably start in that game. So, yeah, I think he will play in preseason, definitely both games. And we, coach says, we do need him for rotation, but also to cover. And what if someone gets an injury, something happens? It can happen very quickly and just change. All of a sudden, we're left with only, from the 3 sort of strikers, you're left with 2 only. So yeah, look, it's important for him to stay. I think I also want to see him, how he reacts and how he develops and how he plays when he's got that competition in training every single time. He's not a nailed on starter anymore, so he's got to work a lot harder. And I want to see how he handles that pressure, and that, what I already like his attitude, because I think he's one of those that puts his head down and gets to work and doesn't complain too much. So I think he's already got that. But I want to see that competition. It'll actually think might help him, because he'll learn from those other ones, some new things, new tricks. They'll train harder because of it. The competition is harder, and I think that could actually benefit him. So I wanted him to stay. Look, he still might not work out. He might leave in 6 months or in a year, but I do really hope he does stay, and I want to see him go through that, and I want to see how he reacts and what happens there, because it could make him stronger and better and pushes him up to the next level.
Yeah, let's see how he reacts. But he's sounding confident. I think he did grant an interview. I don't know to what particular outlets. He's sounding all positive. Also referenced how people didn't give us a chance against PSG in the Conference League and all that. That people didn't give us a chance to finish in the top 6. We finished top 4. Jay says we're actually very lucky that we're not leaving London for the first month or so, considering the burnout by Club World Cup. You could argue, but wouldn't you could say how many weeks after the Club World Cup? I think that's enough time to rest. Yeah, I think the only, you could say, issue would be that you don't do too much during your holiday.
Yeah, they can't really do what they would normally do. No, definitely not.
Yeah, exactly, because we don't have too much time, right?
Yeah, look, they still went and had fun. You saw videos of them, what they're doing, but
A lot
like
of risk.
Yeah, a little bit of a risk, uh, and I'm
Who
surprised.
was that was bungee jumping? Or you could argue was in the air like in a
Yeah,
parachute. I
Caicedo.
think it was Caicedo, right?
Yeah,
One
Caicedo.
was diving into water.
Yeah, Caicedo can do anything he wants. He's unbreakable. Don't worry about Caicedo. Um, I was surprised at that actually because I know a lot of the insurance companies that insure these players. Those are exclusions. So yeah, I was very surprised they did that. But obviously they just don't care. That they're too confident that they're not gonna, nothing will happen. So yeah, a bit surprised to see some of those. But hey, I think they deserved a long season, unwind, have a bit of fun, enjoy it. Like I said, it's a short one. It's not the traditional, 8 9 weeks they get normally. So 3 weeks. That's a very short turnaround.
Yeah, indeed. And Rocket Frankie here says, one by one, then don't they go? No be lie. No be lie. Felix out, Broya out, remaining Sterling, Chilwell, and Kunku, and the two Umibo.
What does that mean, Coach? Come on,
It's
explain.
killing me. The two Igbo boys. That's my tribe where I'm from. An Igbo, a Nigerian tribe. The two Igbo, we fall my hand with poor performances at CFC shirt, in CFC shirt, so to speak. I think he mentioned in the two Igbos. Who are the two Igbos left? Oh, yeah, that's Carney Chukwuemeka, and also the one we signed from the French side
Ugochukwu?
went out on loan to Southampton.
Yeah, Ugochukwu.
Leslie.
Yep.
Yeah, both. Yeah, yeah. The two Umi was there. There were three of them. One of them, Nani Madueke. So
Yeah,
I'm
Leslie's
guessing.
getting sold. There's a bit of
Yeah.
reporting
He's
out
so
there.
the Madueke. So the two remaining two, yeah, it's Connie Chukwuemeka and Leslie Gochukwu.
Yeah, they'll both be gone. Yeah.
Gusto effed up his chest skin by slapping against the water. Man was invited to heaven. I like that one. I didn't see his own actually, but I saw Caicedo's video in this. He was mid-air. He wasn't even close to the ground. But that's by the way. Here's some news here from Matt Moreto. You could say a trusted Italian outlet, actually, isn't he?
Yeah, a bit better, but not that good. But yeah, better than the other ones. Yes.
Okay, so he reads the news from the last few hours is that Inter is in contact with Nkunku's agent. The Nerazzurri are starting to work on it. It looks like he might well end up in Italy.
Yeah, right. What are they going to pay for him?
You think they cannot afford him? Yeah,
Look,
I mean it's believable.
they can afford his wages, but they can't afford his fee. That's the problem. Of course, they want him, and of course they're gonna. But they've been offloading players and selling players, and yeah, buying cheap players in return. They're not going to spend, 40 million on Nkunku or 45 million, whatever we want. Maybe 50 million we want actually. I don't see that happening, to be honest. They don't spend that big, not anymore.
All right. It looks like nothing new emerged as the show progresses. So if you have any questions, drop it in the live chat session. We'll try to address it. We still have 54 people following the show, 39 likes. But yeah, we can't just sit here and bore you, except if you have questions. If you don't, we call it a day in a few minutes. But let's see. The real question is: are these broke Italians offering more than 19 million in add-ons? That is if they're even ready to sign the player on a permanent. I think they'd look to get the player
On loan.
on you could say on loan with an option for permanent purchase, and probably would see a pattern to what we're used to, maybe or what we've experienced with Italian clubs. At the end of the season, they would want to extend it by one more year.
Pretty much. There's no obligation ever in the contracts.
Yeah, I don't like dealing with them. And
No,
when it's time to sign player from them, they don't help you.
no, they don't. But this is where clubs need to learn their lessons with these clubs, and like we did with AC Milan, and you know, uh, be firm with them and let them know, because otherwise they're always going to do that.
My goodness, is crazy. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. Anything else you want us to talk about, Bobby? Anything else you want us to talk about before we call it a day? I think we've yeah, we've exhausted everything we have lined up, and nothing new emerged as the show progressed. We've gone news hunting now. Two different timelines on X, actually. Vince's and then Chelsea Dodgers. Nothing new. And this here says, I swear, I hate Dortmund. I don't like them either. Leipzig, very easier to deal with, and you could say pretty much straightforward. But Dortmund, yeah, a lot. A lot. Uh, let's see. Dante, anything else you want us to talk about? Rugged Frankie has something to say here. Is Caicedo now trying to be a pilot that he's doing it? Yeah, doing that in the air. And what's Jackson doing in Dakar? Playing in a rough, yeah, that's the peach. Bukio, yeah, God, I beg you. I don't think anything happens to him. He was established putting on his shin pads and sucks, yeah, but probably. And I think I did see something that suggests they weren't tackling him hard. I think there was it did come across that as them being a bit lenient with the tackles. I think, yeah, that's what I observed from a footage I saw of him training with the kids in one of the villages he visited. So Dante, anything else
Yeah,
before we call it a day?
yeah. And on the beach, he was playing on the beach. It was like beach sand as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they have a sniper ready. If someone tackles him, they just take him out before.
Even the villagers will attack you.
No one will come close to him. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
No one's putting a tackle on Jackson.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Anything else, or should we call it a day? We've been streaming for nearly 2 hours now, just 4 minutes before 2 hours. Nothing new. I don't know if you have anything in mind you want us to talk
That's
about.
it. All good, coach. I'm going to sleep as well. I need to get some sleep
All
tomorrow.
right. And Jay says, by the way, your careers look bad. Real bad. More misery to the Arsenal. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, just preseason and after the saga, prolonged transfer process and the travel and everything. Let's see what happens. But with that, we've come to the natural end of this particular edition of the Chelsea News Roundup Show. I do hope we're all doing well once again. And thank you for finding the time to be part of the conversation. Thank you to Jay for joining. Thank you to Rugged Frankie. Thank you to the captain of the community in Constantine Dentu, and our senior panelist in Bobby. I appreciate you. Who else was here? Azo Ali, thank you for joining. Benoit, thank you for joining. Who else? Cole Palmer. And if I miss your name, apologies, I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.
Cheers, guys. Take care.
Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shedding crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this. I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still remembers my name. Still blue through the silence and the roar. Still blue even when we don't score. I carry the soul of the shedding crew. You can't shake me, I'm still blue. Still here, still true. Woke up to the chance, paint cracked on my wall, but the pride in my heart never faded at all. Jersey frayed at the seams, but it still feels right. Been through darkest nights, still shining bright. We bled in the game, we rose with no shame. The bridge still whispers my name. Still blue, every tear and every cheer. Still blue, with my voice loud and clear. I carry the pride of the shed and crew. Win or lose, I'm still blue. From Drogba's fire to Ritz's run, we stood tall under every sun. Through Abramovich nights to new days begun, this heart beats for only one. Still blue, even when they don't believe. Still blue, every year we grieve and dream. I carry the hope of the shed and crew, born for this. I'm still blue. Still blue. Still blue. Footsteps on Fulham Road, moonlight on my pride. Wore this badge through highs and lows, never had to hide. Memories in Stamford Breeze echo through my chest. Not every win is sweet, but I gave my all, no less. We sang through the rain, we danced through the pain. The pitch still